Once again, welcome to Business Communication and Presentation Skills. And this is designed for LDRP Institute of Technology and Research and Vidur Somani Institute of Technology and Research for semester 1 and semester 2. Today we are going to take chapter 1, and in chapter 1 also I'm going to take communication cycle, because communication cycle is, or you can call it as communication process. It is very important. Communication cycle, the elements of communication cycle. We have different elements in communication cycle. The first one is communication, or you can call it as source or the sender. The sender, the initiator. The second one, message. Once you have the sender, you have the message. Don't worry, we are going to cover everything in detail in rest of the slides. This is just to let you know that these are the parts of elements. These are the parts of communication cycle, and these are the elements. You can call it also the communication cycle process. And these two things you can call communication process or communication cycle. Message, you convey the message, and then how do you convey the message? Through which medium? Through which channel? Through which means? And then you have a receiver. If there is a sender, then there is a receiver. With some medium or with some channel, you are sending the message. After the receiver receives the message, he sends the feedback. That is the response of whatever you have asked or you have said or anything. If the sender and the receiver do not understand their message, or sender or receiver, that is called noise, and we are going to touch base noise too. So these are the elements of communication cycle: communication, or the sender, messenger, message, channel, receiver, feedback, and noise. So now the process. Now how this process is going to work? As I said, first you have a sender. There has to be a sender, and that sender encodes the message in an understandable language. The language can be sign language also, verbal also, non-verbal also. So he encodes to whom he is going to send the message. Then he chooses a channel through which medium or through by which means he is going to send the message. So we have different channels. The first is face to face, one on one, telephone. You can write it as an email. You can use social media, or you can use letter. There are many means. These are some of the example. Then after using any of these channels or the preferred channel, then you have a receiver. The receiver, because the sender has encoded, the receiver decodes the message in an understandable, whatever he has understood. Now, after the receiver decodes, he has to encode it in an understandable language so that he can send the feedback to the sender. Then comes feedback. Feedback is in a way response, you can say. Then when it goes to the sender, it goes as decoding. So this is the entire cycle of communication cycle or communication process. I'm just going to explain this in one simple example. Suppose this person, he's saying the food is tasty. Now he has said it in English, but in a simple English to the person who is, he's the sender, and now it is going to receiver. So the receiver says, "Khana swadisht hai." So the entire whatever the sender said and whatever the receiver received, both the messages are correct. So there is no noise in between. In between means both of them have understood. The noise can be physical noise or internal noise, internal noise or external noise. So that is what noise is. Now, idea. Can you speak without an idea? I guess no. So this is prerequisite. When you joined college, what was the prerequisite? It was completing your 12th. That was one of the that was one of the prerequisite, right? So if you don't have an idea, there is no communication happening. The idea can be idea of an exercise. You give some ideas when you're going for gymming, or when you go to the park and do some exercise, you give an idea. Or in a meeting, so many people are talking, you have an idea, you share it in the meeting. It is more than one people, so it is called social. You are sharing it in social form. Then you might have, this looks like cultural. Yes, in every college you have cultural function or cultural fest. So at that time you can give your idea, right? So these are ideas, examples of idea. Not necessary you have to stick to these. Understanding purpose, you have understood idea. Then comes sender. Anyone can be a sender. You can be a sender, I can be a sender, but a sender has to send the message very clear. The message has to be very clear. Say, for example, you have a home, sweet home, and here is the message. Welcome to my sweet home. Is the message clear? Yes, absolutely. You are inviting everyone to your home, maybe for a lunch party or inaugural party or whatever you are inviting. So everybody's, your message, welcome to my sweet home, is a clear message. Now, message can be an opinion too. In your opinion, whatever your opinion is, when you speak, you are a sender. Then your attitude can be positive, attitude can be negative too. So with which attitude you are sending the message, that also is that you are, then you become sender. Then you have some people order. From tomorrow, your reporting time is 9 a.m. It's an order. So you're communicating, you become the sender. The person who is speaking becomes the sender, but it categorized under order. Then suggestion. There are many suggestions that comes in day-to-day life. Here, one of the suggestion is highlight the important points. So it was a suggestion, but there is one person who is sending. He is the sender. Who is speaking? He is the sender. The other person is a receiver. So here, in all these, you can see that there is a sender and there is a receiver. One more I have taken is analyzing. Suppose you have a problem and you solve it with some analytical ability that you have. So you are the sender and the receivers can be more than one person. So I hope sender is clear to you. There is one person who sends the message and there is another person who receives the message. The person who speaks first is the sender. A sender can be individual, one person, and sender can be an organization. Suppose anything comes from your college, it is an organization. Anything comes from your job, that is your organization. So sender can be an individual or organization. Now, a sender, when he sends the messages, he uses his approach. How? Negative, positive, whatever the approach is, whatever the attitude is. He uses his skills. Skills for what? So that the other person understands what the person is trying, what you are trying to tell. Then competencies, whatever skills and the competencies that you have, you use that and send the message. You can send it, there are people who send the message with symbols also. When you like a message, you put a smiley, right? That's a symbol. Okay. So sender, one person. Now we are going to the next one, that is receiver. With using all these things, the sender sends the message. And oh, sorry, when you are sending the message, there has to be a channel. The channel is called medium. and it has to be appropriate medium. It cannot be any medium, because that is the mode of communication. It can be face to face, that is one on one. It can be meeting in social together, you are communicating. It can be in a seminar, you are the one who is communicating, there are many people who is listening. It can be through a video. Right now, as I am communicating with you people through video. It can be through social media also. Yes, this is social media too, because once it uploads on YouTube, it becomes social media. And you can communicate through email, you can communicate through letters. And if your communication channel is not appropriate, it becomes a noise. For example, in a meeting, you are saying something and others are feeling hungry, that means people are not listening. So that becomes a noise, internal noise. Okay. Now comes receiver. Sender, you chose the medium. Now the receiver. These the images that are going fast, they are the images from the sender. The sender is giving some opinion, the sender has got some attitude, the sender is angry, he's giving some order. So he or she is the sender. It's a little fast, I apologize for that. Then the receiver. The sender has already sent the message. Now the receiver. The receiver listens. Yes, he listens. And then he tries to understand what the sender is saying, and he decodes. Remember, he understands. Based on the relationship that the sender has got with receiver. In a way, this also can create noise. If you don't have good relationship, then that internal noise will start. But still, here we are not keeping that, but understand that if there is some clash that is going on, then that is internal noise. So receiver listens, he understands based on the relationship. Means based on the relationship can be trust. If you trust the person, you will agree, you will listen carefully, right? And then the medium that is being used. This is the medium, or this is the channel that we have used in the previous slide. So that I have shown here. You use a medium channel, and then say, for example, the sender has sent the message, receiver listen to the message, he understands the message, and the proper channel has been used. Now say, for example, if this is the situation, a chef, whatever he was making, it got burned. This is the situation. The sender does not know what the situation here is, but the sender is sending a message that, congratulations, you are promoted. Do you think based on this situation the chef is going to hear this message properly? For me, it is a no. So the receiver transforms the message into requirement of the sender based on the frame of the mind of receiver, which is also equally important. Yes, as a sender, you gave a congratulation message, but the situation was different at the receiving end. That is why this sentence is written. So I hope you understood the sender, the medium that is being used, and receiver. Okay. Decoding is done by, at present, it is going to be done by receiver. Understands the message. The understands the message depending upon the person's knowledge. If the person has got that understanding of that particular subject, then decoding is going to be easy. Then here is an example. You have a sender, he's saying something, and you have a receiver. He's hearing or he is listening, but see the difference. He's sending something and he's receiving something. Both are not same. But If the sender is knowledgeable or has got that ability that he or she will make the receiver understand so that he gets a response, he will be called smart. Or the sender has got the confidence that the way I explain, the way I speak, you will definitely get a response. That confidence, then yes, that decoding happens easily or smoothly. Say, for example, it is 2 o'clock here, and you are the sender and you say box. The other person, this is the actual meaning. The other person, when he heard the word box, this is what he understood: lunch box. Understood meaning. So the actual meaning, box, because it was a 2 o'clock situation, he understood it as lunch box. This is called common in confidence. This is also called noise because the actual message that you gave was not the understood message by the receiver. This is also noise. Okay. So this is decoding. So decoding has to happen in such a way that the other person understands. Feedback. We saw the communication cycle. You have sender, the medium, and then the receiver decodes. Now receiver becomes the encode. He's now encoding to send it back to the sender. So there is, in between you have a feedback. Feedback is final element of communication process. Yes. From there you come to know whether the person has understood or not. After every chapter, I gave you some MCQs in the form of Google form. The reply to that gives me or tells me whether you have understood or not, or it tells you also whether you have understood the chapter or not. I have given you final MCQs. If you want to keep that as a reference, you can use it. Now, sender analyzes the efficacy of the message, helps the sender in confirming the correct interpretation of the message. Means whatever the sender wanted to say, remember box, sender box and receiver box was two different things. So with the because of that feedback, you come to know whether your message has reached in a right manner or not. Feedback can be verbal or non-verbal. It can be in the written form, it can be in the memos, it can be in reports. If there is no feedback, that is also called a feedback. Without feedback, there cannot be a confirmation to the sender that your message has reached correctly. So feedback is important in any form. No feedback, as I said, no feedback is also a feedback. So we have covered these things: elements of communication. Under elements of communication, communication, which can be the source, or you can call it as a sender, message, you can call it channel, you can call it next one, channel, medium, means, any of these you can call. Then you have a receiver, then you have feedback, and if certain things are not going or happening the way it is supposed to be, then that is called noise. Why did I take these in detail? Because when communication cycle is asked in examination, you all don't explain it well. Explain it in your own language. Once you understand, explain it in your own language. So when you have sender, okay, that person is sender. And then there is a channel or medium, and then receiver. He, one is encodes, one decodes. The decoder becomes encoder, feedback, and then goes back. So entire circle is there. That circle. Circle is, that is why it is called communication cycle. A simple example I'm going to give you. Suppose you call someone, and if that person does not pick up, did the communication cycle happen? No, it did not happen. Second example, you called someone and there is a network issue. The person at the other side, the person on the opposite side picked up the phone, but there is a lot of noise happening in between, mechanical noise or whatever noise, it's happening. So, did the communication cycle complete? No, it is incomplete because there was no feedback. The receiver sends the message, the sender sends the message, the receiver received the message, but there was no feedback. It was not clear because there was network issue. Clear? So I hope you enjoyed and understood the communication cycle. If you have not understood, you can still go back and rewind the video and understand it thoroughly. Try to make it as simple as possible. As I say, that if you have any questions, you can ask me on WhatsApp or you can email it to me on my email address. And what I'm going to do is, for all the YouTube all the chapters link, I will give it in the description box, so you can watch it whenever you feel like. So thank you. Stay safe and be at home. If it is not required, don't go out. Take care.